little Bobbins Knits. My name is Dani and I'm really happy to see you today. It is March the maybe 8th and it's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining, there is a light breeze and it is just beautiful. My son is at the park with my husband, and as I have an empty house, I thought it was a really good time to come and say hello, because it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, so hi, I hope you've been really well, and I hope you've been doing lots of lovely creative things and enjoying them greatly. I think my last video was in September, and about 2 weeks after, I'm going to try and talk about this without crying, but it's still just raw. About 2 weeks after my podcast, in September, we lost Bobbin. And, oh for goodness sake, I really thought, okay. And it's just horrible, isn't it? As you know, if you have a pet that you've loved greatly, their loss is just massive, because they are a huge part of your life, a huge part of your home, and a really important member of your family. So yes, it's horrible, and it came as such a shock. He was 15. He had a heart condition. I know sort of rationally it shouldn't have come as such a shock, but I really thought we had a couple of years left. So it was really hard. And so I was talking about some patterns in my last episode, and it all came to a bit of a pause, because I just couldn't muster anything for a little while. And I sort of thought about coming and seeing you in December and doing a little sort of vlogmas type arrangement. Oh no, Snufkin's playing with the tripod. Snufkin, stop please. But yeah, I just couldn't, so I'm here now, and I really thought I'd be okay with talking about it now, but it turns out that I'm not. I don't know if any of you are aware, I started a Substack last month, I think. I'd been thinking about it for a while and wanted to start either that or a newsletter or something, just to sort of keep in touch when sort of videos and things were a little bit trickier, and I really like it. So if you'd like to come and see me over there, I would be so happy to see you. And I spoke there about Bobbin because it just felt like a place where I could really just get it out in my own way. So yeah. So I'm really sorry to start it with such sad news, but I know that there are lots of you here who also loved Bobbin, loved seeing him. So yeah, felt I couldn't not say anything. And Snufkin is playing with the tripod again. And if you have read my Substack, you will have known this, but I really truly feel like those 2 kittens who I introduced you to last time were sent to me to support me through the sadness of losing Bobbin. Let me grab him now because he's being a menace. He's grown so much. Come here, Snufkin. You're a little menace. Well, you're not, you're a massive menace. Look at him. He's such a big boy. And he's just as cuddly, although he's playing at the moment. But yeah, I think that they were sent to me to sort of help that time, because they are such, not just me, but help my son, my husband, and Teddy, because Teddy and Bobbin were great friends and he needed help back through that time as well. But they are such lovely, friendly, sweet little presences that yeah, I truly believe that they were sent to help us through that time, and they're wonderful. Love is outside at the moment. They only have access to our garden. I don't like them to go further than that because it's just too risky. There's a road and I just don't think it's safe. So they just stay in the garden. Love's out there now, probably sunbathing somewhere. And yeah, Snuffkin is playing. I have someone to introduce you to, and I'll do that when he comes over, because at the moment he's playing with Snuffkin. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will have met him already. So I haven't been doing a great deal of creative things. It's just so spread out. I never used to go a day without doing some knitting, and now there can be a few days that pass. And I think because I really want to pursue writing these patterns, especially because I home educate our son full-time, so we are a single income household. I would really like to be able to contribute to that financially where possible. So I find it quite difficult to sort of separate fun knitting with, or just sort of for me knitting, with pattern knitting, because I really want to be able to make something a little bit more of my patterns, so that I'm bringing a bit into the house around being able to be with my son like full time, and yeah, explore his education and all of that sort of thing with him. So it's sometimes quite tricky, and as you know, if you also home educate, it's quite an all-encompassing thing, because we go to, I take him to lots of different classes outside the house, so there's lots of that to fit in around stuff that we do ourselves at home, and then around that there will be preparation time for me, deciding what we're going to look at next, or if he has got a particular interest at the time, sourcing things around that we can explore. So it's quite all-encompassing, and it sort of takes some of my creative thought as well, finding the best ways to present things for him, or finding the things that he is interested in. So my creativity is also being used in that area, and yeah, there's not necessarily a lot left at the end of the day, always. Sometimes the amount of creativity I have left is to do something on my island on Animal Crossing. Any other Animal Crossers out there? I decimated a part of my island and I'm remaking it in a different sort of way, and that's just so incredibly satisfying. And that's great because I can just pick it up for a few minutes, put it down, it makes no mess, and it's just a lovely way to spend a few minutes of my time. So this that I'm going to show you today is sort of things that I've been doing over the last few months. But yes, I've also been to a couple of events, so I will tell you about those. And I have got my Christmas pattern, because I did manage to get a Christmas pattern out. I did not think it was going to happen, but it did, and I'm so pleased I was able to, because I think I'd have felt terribly disappointed in myself if I hadn't. And so I will show you that as well, but I forgot to bring it down, so I have to pop upstairs and get that in a minute. I've got a lovely cup of popcorn tea, one of my favourite big mugs. This is made by Wendy Fowler, who is a local potter, or used to be a local potter. I also did pottery classes with her when I was very small and when I was an adult, and she is very skilled potter, and I asked her to make me an enormous mug with these sort of speckles. I wonder if you can see the glaze. And yeah, this is one of my favourites. I say no longer local because she's moved. But yes, I think what I'll talk to you about first is spinning, because I remember I ended the last episode on spinning. I still absolutely love this little machine. It's so fantastic. The more I use it, oh, or maybe now's the time to introduce this little being that we have. Do you want to come up? Come on then. Come here, pick up. That's it. This is Crumpet. Aren't you, Crumpet? Yes, he is. He is a sweet, sweet boy. I think we've had him, about 6 weeks probably. He's like 4.5, 5 months old, and he is precious. Aren't you, Crumpet? The house felt so strange without a dog, but obviously it took time to work out. Well, I just had to grieve for a while, and then I saw that this little boy was available and got in touch, and the next day he was coming home with us. And he is so sweet. I really wanted another Chihuahua because I just love the breed. I think that they're a lovely, lovely breed. They're so loyal, so cuddly, just so sweet. They're so misaligned in the media because although he can be a little yappy boy, you like a shout, don't you? They're not how they're characterised in the media, or in my experience. They're just lovely, sweet, like precious, loyal dogs. So yeah, he's absolutely lovely. He's my sweet boy. I wanted a Chihuahua, but I wanted him to be as different to Bobbin as possible because I didn't want to look at our new puppy and think, I miss Bobbin every time. And I still do, because they have similar characteristics in some ways, but he's a little short hair fawn puppy, so yeah, he's about as opposite to Bobbin as we could have got. There was a little black and tan long hair that I was looking at, but I just thought, no, I can't, because I would constantly compare them, I think, so it wouldn't have been fair, because the little dog will have its own character. And yeah, anyway, so this is Crumpet, and he's precious, and Snufkin is his best friend. They were just playing. They absolutely love playing with each other, don't you? So lovely. And he gets on really well with Love. He likes to snuggle with Love on my lap, and he gets on really well with Teddy. Teddy is still aloof, but Teddy got on really well with Bobbin. So he doesn't really play with Crumpet like he did with Bobbin, but yeah, they're good pals. But he's settled in so well, and he is just so sweet, aren't you? And I wonder how big he's going to get, because he's about tripled in size since we got him, and he's still got so much spare flesh. But these tiny little paws, so I don't know what's going to happen. He's tired. Oh, he's so sleepy. But yeah, this is Crumpet. Right, so I think it's 15 minutes in and we haven't discussed any sort of craft, so let's get on with that, shall we? I took a little bit of video at Christmas when I was thinking, will I be able to do a video or not, of some things that I made for Christmas presents. So I'll pop that in here. Hello. I need to leave for the post office as soon as possible, but I just thought I'd show you some of the things that I've made for Christmas that I have to get in the post. It's last post day, and I've been sort of saving them because I wanted to get an opportunity to show you, but an opportunity has not arisen. So I'm still in my pyjamas. I haven't yet got ready, but I just thought I'd show you while I had the chance. So I made these two. Oh, now the camera's gonna not cooperate either. These little earrings with the fringy bits at the bottom. I've got very into beading. I got this book and I found these tutorials on YouTube. Her name on YouTube and Instagram is Snails and Fairy Lights, I think. And she just does some really lovely clear tutorials. So I wanted to try beading for a while, and then I just thought I'd have a go. And the tutorials are so nice to follow. It's so much fun. So the only sort of difficult thing about it I've found is getting the right beads, because when I like doing something, I like having all of the things just in case some sort of, this isn't too loud, just in case an idea appears and I want to make it in that instant. And there are a lot of colours of these beads, it's like thousands, and it's quite hard to choose them online because you know how colours can sometimes look different online. So that's my only issue so far, is being able to get a good amount of the beads that I can be a little bit more free in my colour choices. So what I've been doing, so I've used this book that she has, and I've just sort of used some of the colours from that, so that it sort of gives me a good jumping off point. And I sort of bought a few extra ones that I liked the colour of, but a few of them have come and they weren't exactly what I was expecting, so they don't have enough of a contrast with other colours and stuff like that. So yeah, the beading part of it is nice and simple, fiddly, and I've discovered that I think I might need glasses with the close work, but really fun. So I hope that they are going to be well received. I'll show you the other beading projects I have that I need to wrap up as well. So I also made these ones. These are all patterns from her book. And I would say, I wonder where the book is. I had it out because I was preparing to do this video for ages, but aha! I put it away. So this is the book, Brick Stitch Fringe Earrings by Darcy Le Fleming, and it's really lovely. It has lots of different types and the patterns for it, and a lot of the patterns in there have sort of a companion video on YouTube which will take you through the process. But I have found in the book, I think I've made 3 from the book now, and I think each of them have had an error, and they're not sort of insurmountable. They're just sort of either the word pattern doesn't quite match the colour grid pattern, or the grid pattern is wrong. And it's fine, it's like, mistakes happen, it's a self-published book and it's absolutely fine, but it's just a bit annoying because I think it was these earrings. I made the start sort of like 8 rows, and then I thought, but that doesn't look quite right, and compared it to the picture and saw that there were 2 extra white beads somewhere or something like that, so I had to pull it back. But it's not really something that you can just sort of rip back. I have not got the patience to take it back like bead by bead, so I just had to cut it, start again, and then I did it the second time and found that there was another error. So for something that's quite time consuming as it is, I had to start these 3 times, which was a bit annoying, and it's quite a lot of time, but now that I've seen where the issue is, I've been able to mark it in the chart, so I won't make that mistake again. But I think I will more thoroughly check the patterns in advance next time. So yes, I also made these ones, which I think are really cute. They're mismatched and they're so fun. Oh, where's the camera? And these, they have, I've noticed with all of them actually, they look quite nice off. They look quite nice just as they are. All of the tiny beads, it's just so satisfying seeing the patterns come together. But when they're on, they just take on a new sort of life. They're so light as well, which is really nice. But I absolutely love them. So I need to start getting into wearing different beads. I just wear these little opal studs that David got me when we were expecting my son, because opal is his birthstone. I just wear those all the time. But I should really branch out because I love making these so much. And I think friends and family will only take so many. And then these are the last pair that I made. And they're really pretty as well. But this is an occasion where I didn't want to do the colours that were in the book, but I didn't know if I had any colours that were appropriate, and buying the colours was quite tricky. So the contrast between the centre circle and the outer circle is much more subtle than was in the book. But I think it works still. And I just really like them. So I'm really thrilled I gave that a try. In the book, those ones are like lime green. They're very, oh, there they are. They're really lovely, but they're just not colours that I think the recipient would wear, so I changed it. Hopefully she'll like them. I'm getting her something that matches in the colour, so hopefully it'll be nice. But yes, so there's those things that I've made that I need to get posted. And I've also been on a little bit of a punch needle kick. I've wanted to try punch needle for so long now, and then I finally did more recently, and I've just been making little coasters. So this is a little coaster for a friend who I'm giving these to, so I need to wrap them up together and get them in the post as soon as possible. But I've been really enjoying that as well. Now, how did I learn how to punch needle? I don't know. I think it might have just, I think I might have been on TikTok at some just appalling hour of the morning when I couldn't sleep and just kept being shown punch needle videos. And then I just thought, I've just got to give this a try because I've wanted to do this for so long. I'm just going to give it a try. And it was very low investment to start with because I just used an embroidery hoop and I bought the needle thing, punch needle. Where's that? I don't know where anything is. Let me, shit, I think it's called the Lavore multi or adjustable or something, I can't remember. But it looks like this. It's got a little hole in the middle. You put the yarn all the way through and it comes out the other end. And that was about £10. I had a bunch of linen already, which I was able to use, and then I had embroidery hoops. So I had the yarn because I've just used sort of DK or 4-ply fingering weight cotton. So I thought, okay, well if I get this and I don't actually like it, I've only spent £10, it's fine. Turns out I love it. It's really relaxing and just really nice to do. And you can be sort of like a bit more graphic with it, which is really fun. So now I have bought well, actually I didn't buy it, I got it for Christmas. I got a punch needle frame for Christmas, which I'll show you at some other time. But it's got sort of spikes on each side so that you can really stretch the fabric round, and it does make a difference actually with how pleasant it is to do, and also with the final result, I think, because the hoop, as much as you try and stretch it, it still does loosen over time, doesn't it? And with the frame I can just lay it on the table and stab right through, whereas with the hoop there's not enough space for me to lay it on the table to stab through, because the needle would hit the table. So yeah, I'm pleased I got it, and I can sort of lay out quite a few different things on there at the same time. This is one I'm working on at the moment. It's a little Christmas card coming out of an envelope, and these are all sort of just experiments at this stage, and sort of pictures of things that I've found in the wild or on Pinterest and things. So yeah, just having a lot of fun with that. I've also done this one, which I don't need to send off today, but must get wrapped because this is a gift. This is for a friend who really loves hill walking, so I thought that she'd like that. Right, so I've got those two bits, and I need to just wrap this little bookmark that I did not make. But yeah, punch needle is really fun, and I'm really pleased that I finally tried it because it's really satisfying. I'd like to try a larger project. I would also like to get another needle, because although that needle's great, it comes with 3 different size needles so that you can use different weights of yarn, which is really useful. I think because of the length of it, it's not very ergonomic. Okay, my brain's lost that word. I think it's ergonomic. It doesn't feel great in my hand after a long time of punch needling. I think because it sort of gets stuck in my palm, sort of presses my palm a little bit. So I'd like to get a longer one so it's a bit more comfortable to use for long periods. Right, so we've got that in there and that in there. Lovely. So now I need to wrap these ones. I also made these punch needle coasters. I just thought they were really sweet. Different hearts. I've used all of the cotton, the 4-ply cotton from Sostrine Green, which worked out really well because I like all the colours. The colours all go. So I've only used, well, 5 colours for this, I think, because the red was an extra colour. But I've just sort of used the same colours in different arrangements in these so that they look like a family, because they are for a family. But yeah, the Sostrine Green yarn, the colours are all in sort of a theme. So they all sort of go together well, I think. So must wrap these two. Oh, I've cut the end off that. But I think that's all I need to post. So yeah, I just wanted to show you before I actually put it in the post. yeah, they were things that I'd made for Christmas, and I really enjoyed experimenting with some different crafts. I found the needle punch really satisfying and the beading just so enjoyable. It's just really lovely to try something different sometimes, isn't it? So yeah, I really enjoyed those. But I said I was going to talk about spinning, so I'm going to do that now. So last episode, I think I just started spinning this. I think that this is a Falkland Corriedale merino blend. It's from Witchy Crafty Lady, and I can't remember. It's Witchcrafty Lady actually. I can't remember whether it had a colour name or anything, but it's just a 2-ply. I wonder if it's going to focus on it. I don't think it is, and it's tricky with a little dog. Come here, Crumpet. Let's try and show this, shall we? No, it's just focusing on little Crumpy. But that was effectively my first spin. Because I've tried some Falkland, but I didn't then ply it. So this is my first completed skein. And it's got some uneven bits because I'm not a machine. And it's my first one back. And I'm really pleased with it. It's really, I love the colours. It was really pleasant to do. And then we went to unravel. I got a couple more braids of fibre, and I'm just going to do close-ups of these so that you can see them. And this one, I think these were both from Pixie Yarn. So this one is Fibre Popinjay. It's a superwash white merino and nylon. And with this one I chain plied it so that I'd get a nice rounded 3-ply yarn that might work for socks. And I think that I'm going to cast on some socks with this. I haven't knit hand spun socks for such a long time, and they're really, really fun. So yes, I think I'm going to cast on some socks with that one. One of my next purchases that I would really like to get, and I know Dreaming Robots makes them, is a yarn counter, and I just think that would be so helpful. I think you just run your yarn through it when you're going to put it on the Swift or take it off a bobbin or something, I'm not sure, but you just run your yarn through it and it will measure how much yardage you have. That would just be so helpful for planning projects and things. I know that I could do it manually. I've done it before manually by measuring around a niddy noddy and counting how many times I wrap the yarn around, but a yarn counter would just be so much easier and so much quicker, and I really like quick and easy at this point in my life. So yeah, I'd really like to get that, but I'm really pleased with that. I love the barber poling. I just think it's so much fun seeing all of those different colours and how they play together. And then this one is, I think it's called Ditzy, and it's superwash grey merino and 20% nylon. And this one was nice, and I imagine it, I also chain plied this one, I see. I'm not as keen on it, but it might sort of come into its own when it's knitted. But yeah, it's fine, it's just not my favourite. And then I saw a video on Hedgehog Fiber's Instagram, and it was incredibly inspiring. So I can't remember what the maker's name is, but she was making these sort of faux rolags from top like this around a stick, and it just looked like it was just an aesthetic dream. That she was taking these beautiful colours of this hand-dyed fibre of theirs and wrapping it around a stick effectively. No, I think she used a marker pen actually, and it was creating these just beautiful little rounds of fibre. And so I had this fibre, I had 2 braids of this fibre. What's that? That's so nice. Merino. I had 2 lots of this top. I've had this for so many years. I got it when I did a felting course once, and it is just so fun. I think I got it when I did a felting course. I might have gone to their shop. It's Gillian Gladrag. I can't remember where that is, maybe in Surrey or Kent, I can't remember. But yeah, I got 2 lots of this fibre, and this was purely for the dopamine because these colours are wild and fantastic. But I've never really known what I was going to do with it. There's also glitter in there. It's just so much fun. And when I saw that video on hedgehog fibres, I thought that would be a perfect thing to do with this fibre. So you sort of lay your top on a flat surface, tease it out just a little bit, and then you wrap a little bit around a stick. I found this stick in my son's, it's like a giant bubble making kit thing. So yeah, I'm just borrowing it. And then you sort of pull it out and wrap it around, and then just roll it. Oh, it's such a satisfying process. And then tear it where it's willing, and then you've got these lovely little rolags. So they sort of look like these. And they're so pretty. And they're lovely to spin from. I'd like to do another with an actual superwash merino braid. But look how sweet that is. They're lovely, and then when you're spinning them, they're more of a woolen preparation because you take it from the end, you've got all that air inside, and it makes a little bit more of a springy yarn, as opposed to what I usually do, which is just sort of take a braid and sort of tear it into long strips, which is what I'm doing for this spin at the moment. Yeah, it's very different preparation, giving a different result, which is always fun to experiment with. Sorry, all of this moving is terrible for you, isn't it? I'm so sorry. But yeah, I spun all those rolags and it made this, which is so much fun. No idea what I will do with this. I think probably a hat. I think it would be fun as a hat. But so many colours, and the thing I really liked about that preparation is it sort of kept the colours a bit more true. I think if I'd have spun them in a different way, it might have muddied the colours a little bit more, but with this way, there's bright pops of all the different colours. There aren't too many sort of muddy sections, which I really like. So yeah, that was such a lot of fun to spin. It was really nice, and it was quick and it was just sort of free. There was no, I didn't mind if this was lumpy. It's not particularly lumpy because the preparation is quite smooth, but I didn't really mind what it came out like. There was no intention behind it to create a certain yarn for a certain project. It was just to play, and yeah, it was very fun. Oh, there are just bits that I really love. I love that fluorescent pink in there. It's just so nice. So yeah, that was really enjoyable. And I've prepared another one of my little mini bats, but I wasn't getting the same pleasure out of it, so they're just on pause for now until I decide to work on those again. My current project is another braid from Witchcrafty Lady. I ordered it from her Instagram. No, I ordered it from her Etsy shop, and it's a superwash Polworth and nylon, which I am going to make into socks. And the thing I quite like about chain plying is you just put the whole lot on one bobbin and then ply it all off. So you know when you have two halves, or split it into threes and do it on 3 separate bobbins, you are going to have some left, or at least I always have some left on 1 or 2 of the bobbins, and I never get the same exact amount of yardage on each bobbin, even if I measure them exactly. And so I love with this that you just put the whole thing on one bobbin and you have nothing left at the end. Really satisfying. So this is the foot that I was telling you about last time. So for spinning at the moment, it's horrible for my posture, but I'm generally just putting it on a tray on the sofa near me, and then I will just use my hand to turn this on and off. And it's such a handy little addition. I got a battery in the end, so I don't have to have it plugged in, which is just so nice. So I can just do it anywhere. And yeah, so at the moment I've got this spin on there that I will put in a close-up too. But it's this beautiful, it's turning into quite a pastel spin, but yeah, I'll show you a close-up. But this is what the braid looked like initially. Sort of a white base with all of these lovely pops of colour. There's fluorescence, there's bright pinks, purples, greens. And I love this to spin. It's so satisfying, so enjoyable, because you get to play with all of those really bright colours. And then, by some magic, well, I think it's because there's an awful lot of white in there, it sort of tones down all the brightness into something that I am actually more likely to wear. So it's best of both worlds, really. I get to enjoy the colour at the time, and then I get to be more likely to wear the finished object. So yeah, it's turned into this beautiful, more pastel pinks, oranges, purples. So pretty. And I can't wait to make socks out of that. I'm quite trying to do it really thin, because I noticed with this one I was trying to do it thin, but I don't think this is fingering weight. I think this would be nearer sport weight. I'm attempting for this to be nearer a fingering weight, but we'll see. You have to go so thin for a 3-ply making a fingering weight. And because I'm doing it while we're watching a film or something, it's sort of, it's my mind relaxing, so I'm not being too specific about what is being created. I'm just sort of trying to keep it as thin as I can, with it remaining stable. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying spinning, and I know I wouldn't be so much if I didn't have this little spinning wheel. It's such a fantastic piece of equipment. I absolutely love it. I did get a new piece of equipment for the spinning wheel actually. I got a new orifice reducer, and it's brilliant. So before, the orifice reducer was just white. I'll show you a close-up actually, because the camera's really far away. I don't quite know why I've set up like this, but here we are. And it was just a white round circle, purely for reducing the orifice size. But this one, it was from a 3D printing company on Etsy that I found. I think they were Brighton 3D printers or something like that. I think the person who made Dreaming Robots, I think they've made a lot of their, I don't know what they're called, I think they've made a lot of their accessories, the plans for that, available so that other people can also 3D print them. And so this orifice reducer has some sort of bits cut out of it so that you can wrap your yarn around it when you're not using it anymore, or when you stop spinning for a bit, which is really helpful, because before I can't remember where I was putting it. That's so weird, I completely can't remember where I was putting it, just to park it while you're doing something else. So this orifice reducer is really helpful and I'm really pleased with it. I've seen there's things that you can get in America, like you can kit out the whole spinning wheel with like custom hook colours and custom bobbins with different designs on the ends and things. So much fun. That's not as easily available here, but I was very pleased to find this orifice reducer with a way to park the yarn, because it's incredibly helpful. So yeah, I love this. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that spinning wheel, and if you are looking for one, I would, oh, I think it's because the neighbours are mowing the lawn. It's okay, it's okay. If you were looking for a little electric wheel, I would just highly recommend it. I think they're bringing out something new, something foldable, I don't know, but wonderful, interesting ideas. So I have been to a couple of events lately as well, and so I thought I would show you what I got there, and then afterwards I will have a little talk about the knitting. But the knitting, oh, and I'll get my Christmas pattern to show you. I have 4 projects over there and I'm not sure about any of them, so I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. But I'll need to have a little rearrange here to go and get them, so I'll do that in a second. But while I've got this basket here, oh, this basket I actually got from Unravel a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago. I just really like this shape. I haven't got anything this shape. I'd really like one this shape, smaller as well, because they're just such handy baskets, aren't they? Crumpet came to Unravel, didn't you, Crumpet? And you were a very good boy. You were a very good boy, weren't you? His first yarn show, he was very good. So I didn't buy a lot at Unravel. I think I've forgotten something upstairs. I got some lovely yarn from Loom, and their stand was just beautiful. I got some yarn from them that I will show you, because I have actually started knitting it already. And I got this basket, and I also got some fibre from Loom. Excuse the crinkles, I'm going to have to get it out of this bag so that you can see the beautiful colours. Okay, look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So it's a superwash recycled wool and nylon, and it's called Afternoon Tea, and it is just so delightful. So oh, I love it. I love these colours. They're so beautiful. They're really sort of dusky and a bit sort of faded in a good way, and I just think that they're so stunning. So I think with this I'm probably just going to pull off strips and try and keep the colours together and then do a chain ply, because I love the colours so much. I want to be mindful about sort of retaining those colours, so I don't think I do anything like those faux lags or anything, just in case it muddied the colours. Like this purple is probably my favourite colour. Actually, I love this colour too. But these 3 colours here are probably my favourite colours. And I really like that brown. Okay, I love this. I love that. So I'm very excited about that. It smells so good too. It smells really nice and woolly. Oh, really like that. Yeah, so that's all I got. I got a little sock set mini, like 50 gram and 20 gram from Loom, and this fibre and this basket. It was a lovely show. We went on the Sunday, and hang on, just put that away. We went on the Sunday this year. We usually go on the Sunday, except last September I think we went on the Friday, which was also nice. But I quite like going on the Sunday because it's a little bit quieter as a shopper, visitor. But it was really busy this year, which is great for the stallholders, I'm sure. But yeah, it was very busy and very crowded. But it was lovely. Unravel always have such a lovely selection of stands and lots of beautiful things to peruse. And yeah, always a fan of Unravel. It's probably about an hour away, and I took a wrong turn, so it ended up being an hour and a half there because I didn't listen to the sat nav. But anyway, it's so worth the trip. It was really nice. I went with Mum and Auntie Jack and Crumpet, and we had a lovely time. So yeah, very nice. And then before Christmas we went to an event at Rauwerk Knits, like centre of operations, where they work out of their studio in, I think it's Northampton, and they had a Christmas sort of event on where they had a few different stands and their yarn obviously as well, and mulled wine, mince pies. And it was lovely at the event. It wasn't too far away. I think that's probably about 40 minutes. So we thought we'd go over and see what it was like. And it was nice. It's a really interesting place actually. There's also a couple of antique shops. I think they're old factory buildings. Yeah, there's a couple of antique shops, a bookshop, and other shop I was thinking about. Oh, and then they had stuff like climbing walls upstairs in the building that Rauwerk Knits was in, which my son was very interested in. So yeah, it was fun. It was cold. Excuse me. But I got a couple of things when I was there as well. Oh, I did bring the Loom project down here. I'll show you that in a second. It's in this little lovely bag by Luli, which I love. Okay, so I particularly wanted to go to the Rauwerk Knits event because Rauwerk were there, and oh, I just love their yarn. Look at this adorable bag. Their ball bands, just the cutest, but their yarn is just so beautiful. It has a real warmth to it, but like soul warmth. It is just really beautiful yarn. Yeah, it evokes some sort of joy in me. It has a lovely feel to it and a lovely soul. So yes, I love it. So I got 5 skeins, I believe, of this colour. This is the, I think, sport weight, and it's in sand. It's a lovely, lovely colour. But I am struggling to know what to knit with it. So any suggestions, I am all ears. So I would like something simple, something that will just show off this yarn and the beauty of this yarn, and something that I will just throw on. So I have a uniform, cuts down decision making for me, and makes the whole process of dressing so much easier for me. So I literally will always wear either this sort of like cropped sweatshirt, which is ideally what I would like to make a jumper in, but just slightly different. So I'll wear a cropped sweatshirt and either these linen trousers or dungarees. That's just my uniform. So I want to make something that will go with my uniform. I want to find a jumper pattern that can also be part of that uniform. So any suggestions, I would be so interested. I know petite knit patterns are everywhere right now, but they do not particularly suit my body shape. So probably not one of those. But any other suggestions, I would be so interested. Don't particularly want any colour work. I don't particularly want any other colours. I want it to be plain but beautifully constructed. I was thinking about Isolde Teague pattern maybe. I've had a look at the Studio Sweatshirt, I think it might be called. I really appreciate her designs because I think they're made to accommodate a lot more body types. And I think that she also focuses on details, and I really appreciate that. Oh, I know I've seen a pattern somewhere that's got some sort of beautiful shaping at the shoulder, and maybe I was organised and put it in my Rauwerk basket, but I'm not sure. But that sort of thing is plain with a lovely shoulder. I'd like maybe an exaggerated rib on the wrist. I think the Studio Sweatshirt might have that. Maybe I should just do the Studio Sweatshirt. It's got a bit of rib here and a bit of rib there. But I just want the ideal pattern for me would be just a sweatshirt in yarn. So yeah, I have various colours of these and my trousers and dungarees. I just swap them all over. And I just want this to be something that will really fit in with that. So any suggestions, I would be really interested. So yeah, 5 skeins of these. Oops. My camera's blinking at me, so I think it's running out of battery. I'm going to have to disturb the little pup and go and get my spare battery from upstairs. And then I was thinking, do I want to do colour work? Because I was thinking maybe just like a line around the arm or around the sort of wrist or something. Not sure, maybe just a little something. And I also got 2 colours that I liked that will either end up being hats or a little addition. Sorry about all that noise. To the jumper. So this one is Obsidian. Oh, that's the lot number. Okay, that's the lot name. And this one is Graphite or Graphite. And I love this green. This green is just gorgeous. It is grass and joy. And this is sort of a really deep brown, rusty colour. So I was thinking maybe I could do some sort of colour work. But I don't want to. I just want it to be really simple, really pleasurable to knit, and just leave me with the most wearable piece. I think when your time gets more limited, for me, I found that I really get stuck a little bit more because I feel like my decisions hold more weight. I don't want to waste time doing something that I am not then going to wear, because it doesn't feel like, it just feels like a bit more of a waste of time now. When I had lots of time and could just make anything, I don't feel like it mattered as much to me. But this, I have been stuck on for a couple of months. I'd love to start it, but I've been stuck for a couple of months because I want it to be just the right pattern to invest my time in. So yeah, I'd love some help with that. So yeah, that's what I got at the River Knits event too. I was so pleased to see Rauwerk there, and I saw them at Unravel a couple of weeks ago. They had a beautiful jumper on the stand. I think it's called the Drawing Sweater or something. It's just a beautiful colourwork jumper with flowers, and it's so beautiful. But looking at the pattern, I don't think that the design will work for my body type, so I don't think that that's one that I would like to do. But I was so tempted because it's beautiful. I don't think I'd enjoy knitting it either, so that is also a tick in the con column, but it's so beautiful. But yeah, they always have great samples on their stand. But yeah, I'm desperate to knit something with this. Please help me. I don't like anything too high up on the neck. Like this neckline is fine. I do like things quite boxy. I don't think I've got any other qualifiers. I think that's probably it. I was thinking about something cabled. Do you remember that pattern from ages ago in Pom Pom magazine? With the lovely cables and patterns. I can't remember what it was called. I really like that. That's, yeah, I can't remember what it was called, so that's just a terrible description. So maybe something cabled. I've got 5 skeins and I think it goes quite far, so I may have enough for that. Or maybe something completely plain. I don't know. But I would be so interested if you've got any ideas. My battery is going to run out. I wonder if I've just briefly got time to show you this yarn that I got from Loom. Oh, and I've got another sock in there actually. So it was a sock set, a 50 gram and a 20 gram. Look at those lovely colours. And I started a shorty sock with it. And I think this is a pattern that I may release if you're interested. I think I'll do the pattern as a short sock and a long sock though, but it's just got a pattern, a sort of rib pattern on it. Yeah, I think I will, because I like it, and I feel that my patterns just have to start there. As long as I like them and feel enthused about them, that's a good reason to put it out there, because hopefully someone else might. So yeah, I'm not going to show too much because it freaks me out. And I feel the pressure of getting it out, even though that pressure's coming from nowhere but me. But you can see how the yarns work together, and aren't they pretty? I think the set was called Wildflowers, and it's just beautiful. So I really didn't need to get any sock yarn, but I couldn't resist because it was so pretty. And I've just found something else in here that I will show you hopefully before my time runs out. I wanted to start just a little bit of whimsy just for me, for those moments when I get a chance to just knit a couple of rounds. And so I cast on these socks. And this, I don't think I have the ball band in here, but this was a gift from a very good friend, Tracy, who's such a lovely person. And these are, I think they're turtle pearl yarn in the licorice all sorts colour. You see the colours in there. But this is just so cheerful, isn't it? So fun. So yeah, they're in the same bag as those ones. So if I want to do something plain, I can just do a couple of rows on this. And if I want to do something with pattern, albeit a very simple one, then I can do something with the other one. They're so cute. I did them toe up because I quite like doing stripe ones toe up. I don't know why, because I do feel like I'd be able to place the heel in a more controlled way if I did it top down, because I'd just be able to have the cuff for as long as I wanted and put the heel in just the right place. So I don't know why I did it toe up. Maybe I just felt like it at the time. But anyway, I do like that Turkish cast on. It's neat, and it's nice to vary things once in a while, isn't it? Okay, I've changed my battery. I've got my knitting over here. So I've got 4 projects to show you. They've been going on for varying amounts of time. And I'm just not in love with any of them. Let's just begin. So I'll show you this first one. I'm knitting another Ingalls by Caitlin Hunter. I have everything in plastic bags at the moment because I don't know how long it's going to be between when I'm knitting it, and I just don't want the moths to get it. So yeah, I have an Ingalls jumper. I used some John Arbon DK. It's gorgeous. I use Stash, I think. I've got this, it's mainly this sort of gold colour, and then it's got the colour work in blue. And it's really lovely. And at first I wasn't sure about it because it's quite big and shapeless, and I thought it just made me look like a bit of a blob, but actually I wear it a lot and it's really comfortable and really warm. And so I thought maybe I should just knit another one in a completely different colour, because I do wear it a lot. So I started one. I think that this is West Yorkshire Spinners. Here's a ball band, that's handy. West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece, which is a Blue Face Leicester DK weight. I think the contrast colour is berry. I don't know what the other colour is. But I'm almost through the colour work, and I think that's what's taking me so long, because I just want to knit round and round. I don't want to read anything. And this pattern, once you get past the colour work, is so plain. Like, there's no shaping in the body, there's no shaping in the sleeves, you just gather them up at the end effectively. And I just really like that. I really like that process. So I've used a less contrasting colour on this one, and I've also omitted in the chart, in the colourwork chart bit, there are some yarn overs. I did them in the last one and I didn't like them, so I've omitted them out of this one. Let's see. Oh no, I've got 1 row of colourwork to do. That is just ridiculous. I don't know how long. Well, okay, we'll say 2 because I've only just started this one. And I don't know how long it's been paused for because I didn't want to do that row. Okay, I just need to do this, I think. The yarn's really lovely. I think it will be even lovelier once it's blocked. It's thinner than the John Arbon DK. That feels like it has a bit more body to it. Blue Face Leicester's just a bit more slinky, isn't it? A bit more smooth. It's got a bit more sheen to it. And so yeah, I like how the yarn's showing. I just need to do these 2 rows. Okay, if someone could hold me accountable, please. I need to do those 2 colourwork rows and then just get on with the really enjoyable body of it. Yeah, I can't believe I have so little to do there. I've just done, I didn't swatch, which I probably should have done, but it's sort of quite oversized anyway, so I'm hoping it won't end up being a mistake. And I've held the contrast colour with mohair. This sort of bright pink mohair with this sort of reddy colour. I think that is the berry, would be, wouldn't it? And they've made a nice effect, but I now wish I hadn't used the mohair. But it's too late. If not, knitting 2 more rows of colourwork has held me up for, I'm going to say months. I think taking it back and then having to do all the colourwork over again would just be the end of the project. Yeah. So I like this jumper. I really liked the fit. I would be tempted to actually make the other yarn in this jumper without the colourwork section, just completely plain. That's an interesting idea, because I do really like the fit. It's really easy to just throw on, although I tend to wear it with jeans, and I'd like something that I can wear with my linen trousers and dungarees. So something a bit more cropped, I'm thinking, for the other yarn. Anyway, so yeah, this one has been in pause because of those 2 rows. Embarrassing. And I think I'll get back to that now. So thank you for encouraging me to get that out. And actually look at how much was needing to be done. Another one that I started, I don't even know how long ago. I don't think it was last winter. I don't know if I've ever shown you this or not, but it's the Rauwerk vest. I believe, you're right, little one. Don't know why it's being held together by a hair clip, but there we are. Yes, Rauwerk vest by Bobbins Knitwear. And I really wanted, I've also got a black linen dress that I really like, with wearing with a long sleeve underneath, and in my mind sort of vest over the top. That's what this was made with, the plan of wearing with. Did that sentence make any sense? And I've got so far on this one also. I'm learning things about myself, you know, and one of the things I'm learning is that the finishing is hard for me. I will get to 90% of a project and I will stop. I didn't know that that was so visible in so many areas of my life, but it is. So this is, I clearly was knitting this with Snufkin on my lap because it is covered in little white hairs. But I love this. I've got this much done. I think I'm just on the, about to start the rib, I'm pretty sure. This yarn I'm using is gorgeous. That's not a hole, it's just where I've added in another ball. It is the Vovo by Rosa Pomar. It's such gorgeous yarn. It is Portuguese wool, 100% wool, non-superwash. It's just divine. Yeah, I love it. But I'm paused on this. I love the shoulders on this. I think they're lovely. Can you see it there? I am paused on this because I think the neckline's going to be too tight. And I was having a chat with my friend Alex about this the other day. Alex Collins Designs. She makes gorgeous bags, and she just showed on her Instagram yesterday this new design that she's doing. It's got like a gallery wall vibe and it is just so good. I was chatting with her the other day and she was saying that she does the same. So she's got something on the go and she's not sure how one of the elements is going to be, so she has put it to the side completely. I have this one on the go. Pretty sure the neckline's going to be too tight and I'm not going to like it. Instead of just finishing it, blocking it, or even putting it on waste yarn and just trying it on to get a vague idea, even though the blocking will change it a lot. Instead of doing that, I just put it away for ages. I think I started this the year before last. You may have seen this. I just think this is going to be too tight, and I don't like a tight neckline. So yeah, that's why this is on pause. I don't know. And looking at it now, the colour is just making me think of school uniform. I don't know why, because I never had a burgundy school uniform. I just had to show you love. Look how big he is, and look at his magnificent tail. Oh, he's just come in from outside. So he's probably got me muddy, I don't know, but never mind. Just had to pause so that Crumpet could have a chat with the dog. several streets away. Those chihuahua ears just pick up everything. So yes, this one's on pause. Don't know what to do about it. Well, I do. I know that I should just try it on. But or just finish the rib and block it. That's obviously what I should do. This pattern does have a detail down the side where you do, I think it's a twisted stitch or something. And I didn't do that. I just did a sort of slight rib. Well, it's sort of like a faux seam, I suppose. I didn't want to do the other thing because I would have had to have remembered where I was, because you only did it every other row or something, and I just didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be really simple, not thinking sort of thing. But yeah, so I've got that on the go as well. Do you do the same? I'd be so interested to know. Or do you see a problem and just tackle it? So this is another project that I'm just not sure about. I got the yarn when I was at Fibre East, probably a couple of years ago. And I really loved the yarn and I love the pattern. I think it's Stripes by Andrea Mowry. But I just don't think it's going to suit me at all. But instead of just finishing it, because I'm so close, as you'll see, I just paused. Pretty sure it's called Stripes. It's a lovely, simple pattern to do. Okay. Have I taken... Oh, okay, it's not even on needles. Oh, huh? What's going on here then? Oh, it is on needles. The sleeve is on a needle. So I love this collar. Lovely. How did I even do it? I think it's just a rolled collar thing, you know, folded collar. It looks so tidy. And then, do you know, I like it actually, now I've got it out. I don't know if it's going to suit me though. I've done it sort of cropped because that's how I tend to like my jumpers. I don't know now. I quite like the look of it. I think I was talking in the last episode about how sometimes I need to just put things away. I'm showing you the back, I think. Yeah, sometimes I need to put things away and then my feelings will change about them. I need to give it a good block, obviously, although carefully because it is single, so I don't know how much it will grow. But yeah, I put it away because I just didn't think it would look right on me. I think I tried it on and it just did not look right, but I think that it will change quite a lot in the blocking process. I love this neck, it's stretchy but sturdy. So I'm doing the sleeve. It looks to me like there are no decreases unless I've just decided not to do any decreases. Okay, I think that this video for me has been a very useful exercise because I just had put these projects away and thought that I would just deal with them at another time. But actually getting them out has made me sort of see the merits of each of them. And maybe they don't need to be completely abandoned. So yeah. It's so funny though because I would have done some sort of jogless stripe thing. Perhaps it's in the pattern, I don't know. But I have no recollection about how to do that anymore. I feel like when you have a lot going on, your brain becomes very adept at compartmentalising and thinking, right, I don't need that information at this time. I will file that away. And then I'm sure when I look at the instructions it will come back and be there, but I would not have any clue how to do that jogless stripe thing right now. Yeah, brains are smart. But anyway, this is some sort of linen blend. I bet I haven't got a ball band. What is that? Oh, I've got some lovely fibre jewels, also by Alex. gorgeous little things. I've also got in here a flyer from the Theatre of Widdershins, which is a like theatre company that do puppet shows that are so brilliant. If you ever see them touring in your area and have a child who would be interested to go, would so recommend them. Their puppets are so beautifully crafted. They make them all themselves and they are just amazing. We also listen to the stories on audio very often as well, because I've gone completely on a tangent, but they are so beautifully done for children. I find that a lot of things made for children are patronising, and I don't want that for my son. But these theatre productions really are respectful to children's intellect, and I just really love them. And for me, seeing the puppets, these creations, is just a joy. So yeah, if you see Widdershins touring anywhere near you, I would highly recommend that you go and see. Yeah, I don't know where the ball bands are, unfortunately, but I think there's some sort of linen content in here. I think that's what drew me to the yarn in the first place. I think I've shown you the yarn, but I don't think I've shown you the jumper in progress. But yeah, I'm interested in that now, again. So, this has been very useful for me. And then my last project I'd like to show you, I have no idea when I started this either. And this was purely for the dopamine. I think I went on some sort of Instagram rabbit hole at some point. I saw this. I think I saw someone's cardigan and then wanted to try it. I might even have the same yarn, I can't remember now, but it's really out of my comfort zone. It is just, well, like that stripy one, that's not really particularly me, but it looked like fun. So this is the home cardigan, just a nice plain cardigan. You want to come up again? Come in and pick up. Good boy. We just recently graduated puppy training, didn't we? Oh, he's such a good boy. And I think the person had done it in this yarn, and it just looked really fun. Like it would be a really fun process. And that's just what I need from my projects right now. They need to be just a really enjoyable thing. And enjoyable to me right now is colourful, but will I wear this cardigan? I hope so, even if it's just around the house. So I've got a few balls. You can see all the different colours. This is Lan yarn, this Cloud, which is a superwash extra fine merino. It's a single ply. I don't know what weight this is, and I can't see that part of the ball band. Oh, here, I've got another ball band here. 260 meters to 100 grams. Don't know, I think I'm using quite a thick needle though. Maybe a 6.5 or something. Yeah, I think it is 6.5, I see it. And this one, like, which part of this? Is this bottom up? I'm not sure. I didn't think it was bottom up. Let me have a look at the instructions. I think it must be. How do you like your patterns? Are you an electronic pattern person, or do you also like them printed out? I like them printed out so that I can write on them. Here we go. It's a drop shoulder V-neck that buttons up at the front. First you'll work the stitches for the back. After that you'll work the right shoulder, then the left shoulder as well. I still don't know if it's bottom up or top down. Okay, Oh, and I'm at the back. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, that's what I do to my patterns. Just have all of the numbers and check them off as I go. Yeah, I think it's bottom up, which is never my favourite because I like to be able to sort of try it on as I go. But I think this, I was just seduced by this wonderful picture on Instagram and wanted to try the same. So yeah, this one hasn't got as far, as you can see, but I love all the fun colours in there. But I just think, will I actually wear this? I do not know. I think I'll wear it around the house, but have I got time to knit something that I'm just going to wear around the house? Don't know. I love these balls of yarn because look at the colourful layers there. Just love them. You just, with every sort of few rows you knit, you uncover a new colour, and it's just really satisfying and enjoyable. So this one I'm not thinking, oh, maybe you shouldn't have stopped that. I'm thinking, should I carry on with that? I don't know. See, these are the same, but they look quite different depending on how they've been wound. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially that way, especially on what to knit with that yarn that I love so much. What can be my, well, everyday uniform jumper. I want something just throw-onable. And that's why I've chosen quite a neutral colour, because I think it would just go with everything. And I don't have a jumper in that colour, so yeah. What are your thoughts? I am wondering whether to just do like the cast on in a different colour, just to break up that colour near my face, because it's quite, I don't know if it's quite similar to my skin tone. But yeah, that's where I am right now with all of my various projects, and yeah, they're all long-term works in progress. But yeah, I think I might pick up a few of those jumper patterns now actually though, and just finish them off and see how I feel about them. I think that stripy jumper would probably go with the things that I wear. It's just whether I feel confident with it on my body. I don't know if it will be a bit too much. So yeah. So I think my plans... Oh, before I go, let me go and get my Christmas pattern so that I can show you. So, these are my, well, my Christmas pattern last year. And these, gosh, I did not think I was going to come up with anything with everything going on. But I'm so glad that I did, and it's so funny because I do have a similar thing happen every time with the Christmas pattern. I just think to myself, I'm not going to be able to think of anything. That will be it now. I've done a few and I'm just never going to be able to think of another pattern again. And I give myself a really hard time for a while, and then all of a sudden when I take the pressure back off again and think, okay, well, if that's all, then that's fine, something comes. And I just think with creativity, I find it's not something I can force. I really have to just wait, and that's hard. And it's hard when you really want to do something, but it's also hard when there's a deadline of Christmas. I really love that I've got into the sort of routine of a Christmas pattern every year. I really like that, and I would be sad if that ended. So there is a different pressure on that for me, all from myself. But yeah, it's definitely, it was the most tough this year because of circumstances. So I was so pleased when something actually came, and it just comes. I had spent a lot of time looking through inspiration and thinking about what I could possibly do, and then all of a sudden it just comes, and it's just such a magical feeling when that happens. I just love it. Sometimes it is like they are dropped fully formed into your brain and I can just go with it. But sometimes, that doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does, and it did with this, and I'm so pleased. So these are the Midwinter Kisses socks, and I've used the Wool Barn yarn because it's just beautiful. It's cashmere base, and it's my favourite base. I don't think Maya's dying right now, but I hope she comes back because her yarn is very special. And then, so it's just a plain sock, and I decided to do a short one so that you had all this detail around your ankle. And these are little mistletoe leaves, and then we've got mistletoe berries, and a little rolled cuff to tie it all together. I've discovered that I really like these sort of special cuffs. I think I've done it in quite a few of my patterns now, and I really enjoy that. I just think that they're so, it's just really fun, and I like the different layers and getting to play with the different elements and being able to use different colours, and just, it just makes them a bit more unusual, I think, and I really like that. I'm really pleased with these. I love them. I think they're so pretty. I love the colours, and yeah, I'm grateful to that spark that enabled me to make these, because I was so sure it was just not going to happen. So I did a couple of tutorial videos for these as well. If you haven't seen them or you haven't made them, if you would like to and are put off in any way by the different elements that there are, I have done a couple of tutorial videos. So I show you how to make the leaves, do the bobbles, and how to join everything together to hopefully make it as fun as possible. So yeah, they're linked in the pattern. So when you are finished your sock, these are just loose, so you can either keep them like that if you want to have more, ooh, hit myself in the nose there, if you want to have a bit more movement, a little bit of bounce, or with mine I just caught them with a stitch so that they can't move, but that is personal choice. But yeah, so they are the Midwinter Kisses socks, and they were out in December in time for Christmas, and I just think they're really sweet, and I'm really pleased that they did appear and get out there. I'm working on, in the last episode I remember that I mentioned a Halloween pattern. Obviously that all came to a pause, but I am hoping to bring that out in time for next October, because it's ready. I just think it would be nice to bring it out at the time that it was sort of made for. So yeah, I have that one in progress. I also have the pink ones that I showed you last time, and I'm hoping that they're going to be out soon. They're out with test knitters right now, so if you're interested in doing any test knitting for me, I have a couple of other patterns at the moment that are different to ones that I've put out before, and I'm nervous about because of that. It doesn't take much for me, honestly. I do make things very hard for myself for some reason. I just would like to have that freedom of, oh, I love this thing, let me show everybody and get that out there, but that's just not my personality. I just agonise over things. endlessly and think, oh, but what if it's not quite right, or what if it's not good enough, what if everybody hates it? Yeah, I'm working on that, because the only person it limits is me. Anyway, so I have those on the go, and that little shorty sock that I would love to turn into a long sock, because I'm pleased with that pattern. I think it's really fun. I think it might be a bit of a tricky one to write, so I'll have to work that out. But yeah, so I've got a few things in the pipeline. If you're interested at all about test knitting, do get in touch. Yeah, hopefully they'll be out soon. I know the pink ones will, because they're in progress, and once it's out to test knitters and not just all being held by me, I feel a bit more of a momentum for them, because I want to honour that time that my test knitters have spent testing it and get it out and keep some movement behind them. If it's just me and in my little cave doing it, I don't feel the same sort of sense of responsibility. I just sort of feel fearful. Honestly, it is a work in progress, because it's so silly, really. But yes, that's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed sitting with me for a bit and meeting little Crumpet, seeing how much the kittens have grown. I can see Snufkin sleeping over there. He's such a sweetheart. Yeah, seeing how much they've grown, and seeing my spinning and my knitting and my pattern, and hearing my general ramblings, because it's been lovely to speak to you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I really hope to speak to you soon. I know that when I get that pattern out, I will be back to have a chat with you. I wonder if any of these projects will be any closer to completion. I hope so. And do get in touch if you can think of the perfect everyday jumper for me, because I would love to start that jumper. I just need some ideas. I think you can just trawl through Ravelry endlessly, because there are so many patterns, and not find the one that's exactly right. If I was more adept, perhaps I could design it, but that is just not where I am right now, and I want it to be easy and pleasant and relaxing. So yeah, if you have any ideas, I would be so interested to hear them. Anyway, I'm almost out of tea, and it's very cold now, so I'm going to go and make a new cup and try and get this video together so that I can put it out. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you're working on, if you would like to share that with me, and I will speak to you really soon. Do come over to my Substack if you would be interested in that. I'm just adding things as and when, not really a schedule. I'm hoping for a couple of times a month there, but it's a little bit more relaxed in terms of content, so I'll be sharing projects, but also life updates and just thoughts and things like that. So yeah, it'll be a little bit of everything over there, and I'd love to see you. But anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope to speak to you really soon. Bye.